Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm gonna just do a couple things here real quick so we can get everybody on. So be just patient for 1 second. Just about a minute early. It's 6:59, and this is our first live Patreon only Q&A. Really excited about this. This is the first, I hope, that will be many that we do of this sort of thing. Usually what I've done in the past is we've done these things live where we do the giveaway. Maybe I spend a couple minutes answering some questions, but I have you for an entire hour. That's what I scheduled, and I plan on going the whole entire hour unless if we run out of questions. So this is what I'm going to do. We're going to start getting people in. Looks like we got about 7 or 8 people in already. I think we have a total of about 90 patrons. I hope most of you have the opportunity to be able to join me tonight. Now, I'm going to start off the first 40 or 45 minutes with Q&A. Anything that you guys want to ask me, and this is a private, intimate conversation. I'm not posting this on YouTube. Although it is through YouTube, it's an unlisted link, and this is something that I'd like to do more often. So if there are questions that you guys want to ask and you really don't want that to go out, this is the place and the time to ask them. And then right around quarter to 8, so 7:45-ish, I'm going to then switch gears and then do the giveaway for April. I also want to talk about what my idea is for trail days and the giveaway that I'd like to do for May/June and all that kind of stuff. So if you don't mind, go ahead. If you want to start opening up the chat, saying hi, and asking any questions that you want to start. It's 7 o'clock. We're going to get started right now. Looks like we got Pork Shop in here. Hi, Rory. Have you ever tried to charge other batteries with your anchor brick? So I have not tried to charge. I think you're assuming maybe charging. So I actually have my anchor brick right now. I'm smart this time. If you remember the last Q&A, my phone actually died in the middle of it, or was about to die, and we had to charge it. So I have it hooked up right now, but I haven't tried to charge like a backup battery brick or anything like that with my anchor device. But one of the next videos I'm going to do, and then it's probably going to be not this week but the next week. So what I did is I upgraded, and as you saw in my trail video, this is the quick charge package that I got. It's a little bit different than the quick charge other anchor device. I had some issues when I bought the outlet, the wall charger with it, because it really wasn't working. And I think it's because I just didn't buy the right one. So I just bought the package, and I think it was about $70 for the 20,100 milliamp. And this thing charged in 3 hours and 45 minutes. Like, it was phenomenal. Totally worth. I think it weighed like 2.2 ounces for the actual wall charger that comes with this. So it's heavier, of course, than your regular 2 amp or whatever wall charger. But this was totally worth it. I was able to charge this whole entire thing and more, because I was able to, let's see, when I was on the OT, I think I charged this thing fully, went down to the little lodge there and uploaded a video and did some other things and charged my phones, and then came back and charged this again before I was even going to bed. When I was on the AT and other trails, the JMT, I think it would take on average about 20 hours for my backup battery brick to charge, so it was awesome. All right, meant the wall plug. I tried with the Black Web 20,000 and charged it 4.5 rather than 24. Yeah, I'm seeing about the same thing. The last one, I actually started a stopwatch right when I started, and it was clean out of battery, and I stopped it when it got done. It was 3:45. So it's amazing. Like I said, totally worth the extra weight to bring on the trail to be able to get that sort of charge that fast. When I was on the AT, I think there was at least 4 or 5 times that I just had to stick around town for an extended period of time just to be able to wait for my battery to get done charging. So it was really annoying. The next hike, Brian. The next hike is the big one. I am heading out to Germany. I'm heading to Germany. Let me look the exact day. I can't remember. It's the middle of June. It's on the 14th of June. So Thursday, the 14th of June, I board my flight out to Germany. I'm flying into Frankfurt, and I'm meeting if any of you watched my AT journey, my AT trail videos, there was a couple of German guys I hiked with for about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. I'm actually going to visit them. I'm meeting them in Frankfurt, and those two plus one of their buddies, all four of us, we're going and we're going to do the Tour de Mont Blanc. In starts, I think it starts. Is it on the French side? But basically, we go through France and Switzerland and Germany. It's one big loop. I think it's about 100 or 110 miles up in the French Alps. It's going to be absolutely incredible. I've heard nothing but just incredible things about this hike. And it's my first actually international hike. It's my first time being in Europe. We're going to be on the trail. I think the plan is we're going to be on the trail sometime by Sunday the 17th. And then we plan on being about 7 or 8 days on the trail, which is fine. You know, it'll be really relaxing, only hiking like 12 to 14 miles a day or so. And then right around the 24th, we're going to wrap up, drive back to Germany, and then I'm going to spend the entire last week of June in Germany. We're going to visit castles, go to Berlin, all kinds of stuff. It's going to be really fun. I'm going to vlog the whole entire thing. I can't wait, but that's the big one. That's the one I'm most excited about, and it's just going to be a blast. Hello from beautiful Scandia. I think, did I pronounce that right? Scandia, Minnesota. I've been there before. I can't remember how long ago it was, but gosh, it was probably maybe 7 or 8 years ago. I think we went up there to play poker at one of the bars or something like that. But Scandia, oh yeah. Wondering about the Zpacks after it got rained on. What did you do after the storm? So the Zpacks was definitely wet. I honestly, because everything else that I keep inside of my my Arc Zip, I actually just threw it right in there. By the time I woke up in the morning, it was definitely damp, but because I have everything else in Cuban fiber stuff sacks, it really didn't make any big of a difference. There's no water that got inside because I have all my food wrapped up in the op sack, so wasn't an issue with that, but definitely was a little wet. What I'd probably do in the future is take my Zpacks out, after a night of rain, and I'd probably just attach it to the outside of my pack for it to dry while I'm hiking, because obviously I don't need to have it in my pack when I'm hiking, but I would just have it attached to my outside of my pack and dry, and by the time I get into camp, it should be good to go. Bet the scenery is phenomenal. Yeah, going back to the TMB, yeah, I've seen pictures, and it's just incredible. Check it out. TMB is what the trail is, Tour de Mont Blanc. Actually, I'm going to talk to him at Trail Days. I plan on talking to him at Trail Days, but Spielberg actually hiked it last year. He was going to do a little series on his YouTube channel, but it never came out. I've been kind of patiently waiting. I think he was going to publish it in the fall of last year, or winter of last year, but something must have happened. But he hiked it last year, so I can't wait to talk to Spielberg a little bit about it. The last river crossing was intense. Was the water very cold? It was probably, if I had to take a wild guess, I think it was probably about 50 degrees, between 50 to 55. So it was definitely chilly. But I was so hyped up, to be quite honest, that it didn't feel as cold as it probably was. I sat there so what I didn't talk about in the video, I got to that point, and past that, once I crossed the Cordaway, it's about a 5-mile hike to get to my car. If I didn't cross that, I probably would have had to hike back. I know that there's some trails I could have gotten off. I don't know where they go. I know that I could have hiked back to Bass River because there's a road there. I just didn't want to deal with all that. So I was pretty I was pretty bought into the idea of getting off the trail that night because it was supposed to get down really cold again, and I wanted to spend some time the last day, that Sunday, with my neighbor and his family. So I probably sat at that area for about 15 minutes, just kind of weighing my decisions before I actually did it. But it was really intense, and it definitely afterwards, I was probably just hyped up for about, the entire night, to be quite honest. it made the venture just, I guess, just even more, what's the word? I felt more accomplished afterwards. I didn't expect to go through the things I did, but when I did get across the river, though, I did change out my top and I put some layers on and stuff like that. So I wasn't cold for more than, I didn't even feel like I was cold for even a minute, but it was pretty intense. Let's see here. Hey Johnny. That was a very nice shout out in episode 2. You're very welcome, Johnny. Thank you again. That was just amazing of you. I think I mentioned this on the video, and I truly mean it. That's probably like the best time magic that I've ever had. I was starving. I was literally gonna stop for a break, and you made my week. That was amazing. Thank you. Are you still happy with the Z-style trekking poles? Are they holding up as expected? If you got a chance to see some of my trail videos, I had one of my poles broke. I don't know what happened. I actually got it in another room, but I should have brought it out. I don't. I almost think that there's something wrong with that pole because the tip on it broke after a day. I've never had a tip break after a day. I don't know exactly what happened. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Black Diamond just replace it and try them out again. The other pole held up just fine. I had no issues with it, but unfortunately, one of my left trekking pole after the second day, something got released in it. There's something that holds the tension together. There's basically a line that connects all 3 of the shafts of the trekking pole, and something got released, and basically all the string just kind of fell out, and I couldn't attach it and keep it taut. So I don't know what it was, but I was really disappointed because everything about these poles I absolutely loved. So I'm gonna try them out again. I'm when I get the next pair, I'll bring them out with me during my Germany hike and see maybe if I'm hoping that it was just, you know, a bad pole or something. I don't really know. So I'm still kind of shook up about it because I really love the feel of those poles. So I'll get back to you and when I get a chance to get some more miles on the next set. Where did you park for the OT? That's the closest trail to me, so I probably need to start gathering info on it. So I actually parked at the very end, Onondaga Cave State Park. There is some sort of, I forgot what the name of it is, but after you pass the actual lodge where the state park is, where the welcome center is, you cross a river, and about maybe 300 yards down on the left-hand side is the little parking lot, which only has, you saw in the video, only holds about 3 cars. If you didn't know what you were looking for, you would go right past it. And it doesn't say at that trailhead like it's the northern terminus of the Ozark Trail. I don't even know if it says anything about the Ozark Trail. I parked my car there, and then what we did was we took me and my neighbor drove then all the way down to what I thought was the start of the OT, and he dropped me off there and then drove back to his house. So that made it really easy because I just was hiking back to my car. I saw that, and that's another reason why I also went from south to north, was because when I got done, that was the direction I was heading anyway. So instead of it being like a 3.5-4 hour drive back to my neighbor's place, which was where I stayed that night, and actually I stayed Saturday and Sunday night, it was only an hour and a half compared to 4. So that's what I did. That's where I parked. When I've done parts of the OT before, I've typically done, so I did the Tom Sock, I did the Quarterway, and I would just park at the trailhead, both the Tom Sock Mountain Trailhead and the same trailhead at the northern terminus, and I just would hike in and then hike back out. It was kind of a pain in the rear end because I didn't have anybody that could pick me up and drive me and coordinate all that. So it kind of just depends on where you want to go, and if you want to, Chris, if you want to comment down here, are you planning on through hiking the OT? Do you just want to do a section hike? And I can kind of give you maybe some more info on that. I am hell on poles. I murder poles, and I'll be the first to admit it. But with this trip, I don't feel like I put much tension at all in the poles. I thought that I was treating them like sweethearts. So I was really surprised what happened. Like I said, I think it was just a faulty pole. But overall, though, black diamond poles have been the best for me on the trail so far. And that Lakey pair, the Micro Varial Cortec, whatever it's called, the ones I brought in the GMT, those were pretty darn rock solid. So those are the two, between the Black Diamond Trail Pro and those Cortec are the two best ones that I've found from a durability standpoint. Let's see, what are some of the less known areas to see in Yosemite? Less known, well, you know, when I've been in Yosemite before, everyone goes up to Yosemite Falls. Everyone will go up to like Nevada Falls. Those are probably the two primary areas that people go. One area that I would recommend is going to, I think it was called Cathedral Lakes. You would park at, there's some areas to park over by Tuolumne Meadows. And if my mind serves me right, I think it's about a 4 to 5 mile hike. And it could be maybe even a little bit less than that to get to Cathedral Lakes. So that's one place I'd recommend. Another place I would recommend that I think a lot of people don't go because it is kind of far in there is Clouds Rest, which you saw on my video. You could go over and park at the trailhead at sunrise, and you can make, I want to say that from Sunrise Trailhead, it might be about a 7 mile hike. So it's a 14, 15 mile hike, which, you know, will take you the better part of the day to do that. That's something else that I would do. One that I did too is I actually hiked to the top of El Capitan, and which is you basically take the path that goes up to Yosemite Falls, and then it keeps on going. And about 98% of the people don't keep on going; they just stop at Yosemite Falls and go back down. So we kept it going, and I don't remember how many miles that it was, but it was kind of cool to be on top of El Capitan. I thought maybe I could like go over and kind of see down a little bit, but you couldn't even get close to it. There was a bunch of trees, and I didn't know where the drop off was, but it was just kind of cool to do that hike. So that's something else that would be kind of cool. But if you could do any of them, Clouds Rest or Cathedral Lakes is what I'd recommend. Let's see, just a section, pretty new at it. So Chris, I would say, you know, now that I've had a chance to pretty much hike the entire Ozark Trail except for the 11-point section, I would say that you know, depending on how tough of the terrain that you want, but if you want what I thought was the best area, I thought the Tom Sock section was great. That's the section that I would go and do. And what's nice is, you know, there's lots of great places to camp over there. There's lots of great things to see, and you know, but you would probably have to just kind of do it out and back, park at the trailhead at Tom Sock. There is a really nice, if you saw my video today, there is probably the nicest campground or campsite that is, what did I say, 8 miles in on the OT. That would be another place that I would go. You could stay park your car at the northern terminus there. The only thing is you're gonna have to cross the Cordaway River, and I don't know how high it is now, but you know, you definitely don't want to cross that when it was high as it was for me. The last time that I went, which was April, by the way, I think when I did this hike before, and it was below my knees. So I guess it just depends how much rain is going on. Do you ever do off-trail hikes? I haven't done a ton of off-trail hikes. I think there was one time when we were in Yellowstone that me and my brother did a little bit of an off-trail hike, but that's about it. But that's something actually that I want to do. So this is something that me and my brothers were talking about last night. I'm actually really excited about this. This is just an idea right now, but this is something that I could totally see happening maybe next year. Next year is going to be busy because we have our wedding. Me and Miss Bigfoot are getting married, so of course we'll need some time off for that. But if you've ever heard of Forster Fenn's Treasure, if you haven't, Google. I think it's called Forster Fenn, and what it is it's like this millionaire that I don't know. If I remember correctly, well, he really enjoys like treasure hunts, and he's a big art guy. And what he did, what his passion in life was just kind of like the hunt. And he bought a chest and he put, I believe, $1 million worth of treasure inside of it. And he's hid it somewhere, and you don't know the specific location, like what state or whatever, but he has a riddle, a poem that gives 9 clues. And those 9 clues, if you can solve each of them, then you will that should take you to the treasure. And there's been a lot of people that have tried to find this treasure. He claims that people have gotten as close as 200 yards to or 200 feet to the treasure. There's actually been a few people that have died from exposure trying to find this treasure as well. I'm guessing because I didn't read much into it, but because they have, probably pushed themselves past the comfortable limit, or maybe they didn't know what they were doing. I'm not sure. Anyway, what we talked about last night is me and my brothers going out on one of my vacations and just having some fun and trying to find the treasure. Not expecting that we would find the treasure, but it'd be really fun just to go out. It would be basically all off trail for the most part, I would believe, and a treasure hunt. I mean, what would be cooler than a treasure hunt? And I think just the idea that excites me is just the idea of adventure and have some sort of treasure expedition. So I'm going to think about it, but that is something that I would love to do for one of our trips next year. And it will be something totally different than I've done. It'd be really fun. So more on that. But you're the first. I haven't even told Miss Bigfoot about it because we just talked about it last night. All right, let's see what the next question is. Congratulations. Feelings on hammocks and hang camping. So I'm not opposed to hammocking, but I haven't had the time to really invest getting into it. Not to mention, I spent all this money on all of this equipment with Zpacks, and it's not the cheapest equipment and gear, as you know. So and I thoroughly enjoyed sleeping in. I love sleeping in tents, and the duplex tent, hands down, favorite piece of gear that I've ever had. That's why I'm also hesitant to go out and test different tents and things like that, just because I feel so comfortable in my duplex and it just works out so well for me. But I'm not opposed to it, and I will probably not this year, but I'm guessing next year I will start to get into the whole hammock thing. And I don't know enough, which is why I don't talk about it. I don't know enough to be able to really speak about anything, because all I would be talking about is stuff that I read off a line and what other people have said. I don't have any experience with really any hammocking, but I think you'll see in the channel next year that I might start getting into it and testing it out, and we'll see. Maybe I will totally change my gear setup, and I'll be more of a hammock guy. I kind of doubt it, because I'd really like to have my own space in my duplex at the end of a night where I can throw out all of my gear and whatever I do. But I don't know. We'll see. But I'm definitely not opposed to hammock camping. I think Josh Gates did an expedition unknown on that treasure. Yeah, there's been a few people that have done stuff, and I guess so we read a couple things last night. When the treasure, the value of the treasure gets up to $10 million, because it's growing. I don't know what it's worth right now, but this Forrester guy, he said that basically he's going to go out and he's going to pick up the treasure and bring it back and basically end the hunt once it reaches 10 million. So there is a time frame. I don't know how long that will be. I don't know how much it's worth right now, but it sounds like it's worth a whole heck more than $1 million. I think he did this in 2004. So it's been 14 years that it's been out there. And he's not young either. I think he's somewhere in his 70s. So I don't know if that was when he first planted the treasure or if he's in his 70s today. But we'll see. But make sure you check it out. It's really interesting. At least I find it really interesting. I really like the duplex as well. Yeah, man, Second to none, my book. I love it. Because of its similar length, would the OT be a good pre-hike for the JMT? Yeah, I think so. I mean, what it would do is, if you haven't really spent any time doing long distance hiking, more than, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 miles on a long weekend, it'll give you a chance to be able to get a feel of what it's like hiking that sort of mileage. The What will also be similar is, I mean, you're gonna cross some roads and things like that, but getting to the resupplies wasn't really easy on the OT, like it is on other trails. So that will be something similar, is just kind of the resupply piece of it all. Of course, the elevation will be completely different, because I think you will only touch somewhere in the 1,700-foot range, and then, of course, on the OT, you'll be about 13, 14, 12,000 feet higher than that. So the acclimating will be totally different. But yeah, I think it would be. I think, getting on a trail, any trail, is great just to kind of get your legs used to hiking, and just used to through hiking, and that sort of thing. The OT really surprised me on how much adventure that I had on it. I mean, I look back to it, and even all the parts that I bitched about, the trail and trying to find the trail, and bushwhacking, I look back on it and it just made the adventure just so much better for me. So I look back, and I had so much more fun than I thought I was going to have. And I mean, the wild herd of elk, that still just surprises me. I can't believe I ran into that. But totally would recommend the OT. I mean, that's what I did to prepare for the AT. And when I hit the ground of the trail on the AT, I started doing 20-something mile days. I don't know how, if it's a very short period of time that you have to do the JMT, but I really like the OT. I think it's a great trail. And by the way, there's the lead person. I think her name is Kathy, for the OTA, the Ozark Trail Association. She actually reached out to me after watching my videos and asked me the specific spots of all of the areas that I had issues finding the trail, the logging area, and she actually is dispersing people out to fix those areas. So I'm hoping here sometime before even the summer rolls around, or the end of the summer, that some of those problematic areas will be fixed and addressed. So that was kind of cool that she responded so promptly. I didn't even reach out to her. She reached out to me, so that was really sweet. Brian says, gotta go. Be cool. Love the shirt. Thank you so much. And that is the last question that we have right now. And we still got, a good 10 minutes or 15 minutes before I was going to start the gear giveaway. So if anybody else has any questions, go ahead and ask them right now. One thing I want to talk about is trail days. So I don't know if anybody here, if you're going to be at trail days, please place that below in the comments. I would love to arrange a time and a place to be able to meet up and just chat for a little bit. And maybe it's over a beer, maybe it's just, somewhere around that area, whatever it is. But I am going to have a meetup. Someone suggested this, but have a meetup sometime. It's probably going to be Friday, not Saturday. So I'm looking at that right now. The other thing that I am going to do, you guys have mentioned, or I have mentioned, you guys probably have heard, I am supporting ALDHA this year. That's the nonprofit organization that I chose. I'm going to make a $500 donation to ALDHA when I'm at Trail Days. I'm in a $500 membership. And I hope with that will help inspire other folks to become members of ALDHA. They basically just live off of their membership. And I'll make that donation at Trail Days, and I'll put in that video, I will put a link where anyone can donate. But I am running another t-shirt campaign. I'm about to. I'm working on the design, and it's specific to ALDHA, and it has to do with the National Scenic Trails. It's the 50th anniversary of the National Scenic Trails, and we're coming up with a design right now, but every single dollar that is made on these t-shirts is going to go to ALDHA. So I'm just helping basically promote them. I'm helping with the design. I'm helping get everything up and going, so really they don't have to do anything. But I'm hoping that we can, between the $500 that I'm donating, and then the t-shirts, I'm hoping that we can raise maybe $1,500 for them. Last year when I went to Midwest Mountaineering Expo, or I was going to go to the Midwest Mountaineering Expo, which is here in the cities in Minnesota. It's a big expo. The fall one is their bigger of the two. They actually just had their spring one a couple days ago. But what I was planning on doing is running their ALDHA booth, which I was going to be there talking about the Appalachian Trail, any questions that anybody had, and of course I was going to publish something on my YouTube channel to let everyone know so if they wanted to stop by and say hi. But unfortunately, they had to pull out because they couldn't afford the fee for the booth, which was $250. So that's what kind of solidified my reason for supporting ALDHA this year, is so that they can have some funding because they really need it right now. And then what we're going to do for the gear, this is what I'm kind of thinking for the gear giveaway in May or June. Kind of depends on how many things are going on, because me and Miss Bigfoot are closing in on our house the day after we get back from Trail Days. So it's going to be a really busy last half of May. But at Trail Days, if you remember my videos last year, there's all kinds of things that they give away, and contests and prizes, giveaways. And my plan was that me and Miss Bigfoot are going to enter as many of them as we can, and whatever we win, I'm going to give out everything out on the channel. So I don't know, last year I actually, I would have won a Granite Gear pack and something else if I came back and redeemed it, but I was too busy vlogging, so I want to make sure that I'm there. But I'm going to see what kind of deals I can score, what kind of things I can bring back, and have just like a really cool, awesome summer gear giveaway. So that's kind of my idea for that. Any advice for Achilles tendonitis? Supposed to be leaving Wednesday for a hike. You know, I don't really have any advice because I've never had to deal with that. I don't know a ton about it. So that is, I mean, you mentioned that you have Katie tape. I would learn, if you don't know already, how to apply the Katie tape to be able to help with that. But I honestly don't know a lot about that, unfortunately. And that's probably lucky that I don't, because I haven't had that issue. But sorry about that. I'm bummed out that the Superior Hiking Trail Hike Fest is the same weekend as Trail Days. I'm planning on going to Hike Fest as I'm through hiking Superior this year. Yeah, I saw that. I actually was, when I first saw that, I'm like, oh, sweet, I'm going to go to that. And then I saw the dates. I'm like, oh, darn it. So, yeah, it just turns out to be that same weekend. And I'm hoping that one of these years I'll be able to go to that. But, yep, I'm there with you. We're just curious, Russ, were you planning on going to Trail Days too if it was separate weekends? And you're through hiking the Superior Hiking Trail this year. When are you doing it? Are you doing it in the fall too? Maybe we'll see each other on the trail. My plan is to start at the very end of September. What do you think of the pyramid tents? Seems like they are really easy to set up. Yeah, I've never set up the pyramid tent. I saw, a few times on the trail people setting it up. They do seem pretty simple. It's pretty easy. Personally, what I don't like is the cost, depending on which one that you're getting. But like if you go with one of those HMG pyramid tents, I mean, I can't remember what the cost is off the top of my head, but if you're going during a time where there's bugs and things like that, you need bug netting and everything. I mean, you're looking at, I think it was like double the amount of money that you would spend on a duplex. So that's something that's kind of crazy, but they're more versatile. You can use those out on expeditions when you're above tree line and things like that. So definitely something that looks kind of cool, and you got more headroom too. So I would definitely be interested in sometime checking one out and seeing how much I like it. But I actually don't have any personal friends that have any pyramid tents, but I have seen, like I said, quite a few people, hikers, with them on the trail. So is that something that you're thinking about getting, Don? Just curious. I'm planning on making it to Trail Days next year on my section hike. Do they have an area for tents, or do you have to get a room? Absolutely, they have a humongous area. It's called Tent City, and it costs, I think it costs $5 for the entire weekend, the long weekend. You can get there as early as noon on Thursday, and you don't have to leave, I think, until Monday morning. So you can't complain about $5. There are different parts of Tent City. It's kind of cool. So you get there, and I did a video about this too. So if you want to just kind of see what it looks like, go to my trail video or Trail Days videos from last year. But you come in and they have all of these services for hikers: gear repairs, showers, all kinds of things. And then beyond that is where, first of all, you got this baseball field. You can pitch your tents in the baseball field. And then if you want to go back into the woods, then, or if you have a hammock too, there's places, tons of places back in the woods for you to go back there and tent. There's loud parts, and then there's quiet parts. So you do have a little bit of versatility when you go there. So if you do want to, be able to get some sleep, because in the loud parts, you're going to be up until probably like 5 in the morning. But Tent City is pretty sweet. It is an adventure in itself and very affordable. All right. Now, what we're doing this year is, last year we stayed at Tent City. This year, we're just not dealing with that. We actually went on Airbnb and got a place. There's a place about a half a mile from downtown Damascus, a little cabin, and that's where we're staying, which works out well because I can upload some videos off the internet. I know that last year when I was there, AT&T was non-existent. I had to just hang around like a bum at the library uploading some videos and doing some stuff. So we'll have internet connection. I now have Verizon. I can't remember. I think Verizon was actually good there. So, but that's what we're doing this year. We actually got a cabin, which is going to be a little bit nicer. Miss Bigfoot likes that. So now that you've tried the Zip and the Blast, which one do you like best? I really am liking the Zip. Now, the Zip would only work for people that absolutely don't have pack liners. I don't think that you need a pack liner with a Zpacks pack. I've never used a pack liner, but of course a pack liner would eliminate the necessity or the use of a Zip. When I was on the OT, I think I opened up the roll top one time. There was just no necessity for me to. So it was great. I never have to open up my pack in the middle of the day because I just keep everything in my front pack, my chest pack. But it was fantastic. The zippers seem to hold really well, even when you have everything tight and singed up on the pack. Of course the Dyneema or the Cuban. I forgot what the actual strength of the Dyneema, but I got there's one that you get that's a little bit heavier, and I think it's the 65 liter or 60 liter, and I went with whatever the 57 liter was. But absolutely love it. I like it more than the Blast. Feels comfortable. Now my Blast was the old Blast before they kind of made some changes to it. So I haven't tried one of the newer series Blast, but yeah, I'm really happy with it. Now I did meet someone on the trail when I was Winter 4-State Challenge that did not like the Zip and was actually going to go back and I think get a Blast or something like that. And I can't remember what his reasoning was for it, but I don't think it was a lot more outside of just not liking the feature of the Zip. So I think it kind of depends on person to person. I will be taking the Arc Zip to Germany when I hike in the Alps. But so far, I would go with the Zip in my opinion. All right, Russ. Looks like you're going to be Nobo in the fall for the colors. No dates yet. Kauai is October and Whitney in July. Wow, you got quite a summer and fall. I am jealous. That's awesome. So I'll be going southbound, the same direction I went when I did it last year. So that's just going to mean that our paths will cross. If you're on the trail, I think my plan is, let me look at the calendar here real quick. My birthday is on Friday the 28th of September. I'm probably going to be home for my birthday and then look at maybe getting on the trail by that Saturday the 29th, maybe. So I will be there. Basically, it's the first week of October, and I'll need to be done. I'll probably be projected to be done by Sunday the 7th of October. So somewhere between the 30th, 29th, 30th of September to the 7th is when I'm going to be out there. I am planning a retirement for the AT and would have gone to trail days this year. MRS and I, or the missus, the missus and I are also going to Whitaker Point in May. Awesome. That's great. Yeah, you know, it's amazing how many folks that I met on the AT that just got done, just retired. So I think that's an awesome plan. Well, congratulations, and like I said, you have quite an adventure coming up here this summer. All right, Don. Maybe I've tried the Nemo Hornet 2-person in the Ignis Fly Creek. I love the Fly Creek interior, but it's almost impossible for me to get out of it without unstaking a corner of the fly. Yeah, you know, I started with the Fly Creek when I was going to go and do the AT, and when I heard about the duplex and saw Redbeard when I was doing some research on it, it just seemed like, you know what, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to buy it and spend the money because I kind of had the same issue. Plus, I just it was just not as big as I would have liked it to be. Where, you know, even though it's a 2-person tent, it's basically like a 1 plus, maybe 1.5 person. Whereas the duplex is actually a 2+ person. So I totally get it. I have not tried the Nemo Hornet. I have heard some people like it, some people don't. Let's see, the Nemo Hornet is easier to exit, but it feels narrower, and those side pockets are useless when my wife and I use it. So now I'm considering a pyramid-style tent. Gotcha. Yeah, I've only heard a few things about the Nemo Hornet. Of course, the Black Galatian last year having all of his issues, and you know, him having issues with them even getting resolved when he was on the trail, which I think kind of just that probably stood out the most to me is just their customer service. I always think it's really important that the gear company that you buy from will do whatever it takes to accommodate you, like especially if you're a thru hiker and you're on the trail. So I just don't know about Nemo because of that. Do you ever have trouble with the lid on the bot? I only had trouble once, and that was when I just got off of Whitney and hiked down into, what is that, Big Pine or something? Then, yes, the bot did pressurize. There is a way to be able to depressurize it. I would have to go back and look, but I think what you do is you just basically take like your titanium spoon and kind of put it inside of the lid underneath the seal and press up on it or something. It's supposed to release the pressure. I can't really remember, but that's what I remember hearing. But I did have that issue of if I was out on the trail, which by the way, that's not a deal breaker for me, because I think what I'm going to do if I ever you know, ascend or descend a large amount of elevation, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 feet, I will most likely just keep my bot lid either off or really, really loose so that it doesn't have that issue and seal up. So so I took the 700, by the way, this last time, and loved it. It was great. It's the perfect size for what I need. The 1 liter was just a little too big. Plus, it's got the nice handles on it. The only thing though is on the 700, if you either cook a little water, like when I was making oatmeal in the morning, or if you cook like 2 cups of water, because I had a couple things I needed 2 cups of water, the heat actually transfers enough where the handles actually are hot. So I had to use some sort of like bandana or something like that for them. So, okay, I think that is all the questions that we got. It's 7:43, so it's about time. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give away, we're giving away 5 things today. I was kind of thinking about what to give away, and I kind of do different themes and things like that. And I just thought, you know what, I'll give away a couple things that I really love. So the first is, if you guys saw my trail, the new items, the new gear that I was trying on the trail, you saw that rumple pillow. It was actually really comfortable. I was surprised. You know, it weighs a lot more than you know, your Sea to Summit, your Trekology pillows. I think it's 4.6 ounces if I'm not mistaken. So it's about an extra 2 ounces. For some people, that's a lot of weights. For some people, it's not that big of a deal. But it was really comfortable. Tammy, Miss Bigfoot, actually took the pillow with her. I don't have it here right now, but she took the pillow with her on her trip with her mother that she was going to use when she was sleeping on the plane, and she actually really loves the pillow. I've actually had to bring a full-size pillow when we've done some trips with her, like the Boundary Waters and other things, because she has to have some sort of pillow and it has to be comfortable. And it says something when she said that that is perfect comfort level for her. So I'm gonna give away 2 of those, and that's what I'm gonna do right now first. So this is how it's gonna work. Just like as everyone knows before, we are going to, first off, everybody that's eligible for this month's gear giveaway is everyone that's a Patreon that has paid for their first month. So if you haven't, if you're new to the Patreon and your first month has not processed, which it processes on the 1st of every month. So basically, if you came in after April 1st, you won't be a part of this gear giveaway, but you'll be a part of every single gear giveaway after this if you continue to pledge. And then the other folks that aren't here are the folks that won our last gear giveaway. There was 5 or 6 people that won t-shirts that we gave away in March, which seems like a long time ago. It's been like a month and a half or 2 months since we did our last gear giveaway because it was so early in March. So I think it boils down, we got about 72 people that are eligible for this month. So having said that, let's get started. The first person that's going to win is Kevin Matherly. I hope I pronounced your name right, but Kevin, you are the first winner. That's for, again, the Rumple Pillow. I will reach out to you. I think I got everyone's address, but I usually will verify that before I actually ship it to you. And the second person is JSP Wayne. So Kevin Matherly and JSP Wayne, you are winners of the Rumple lightweight pillow. Now I'm going to give away 3 pairs of my favorite socks, Injinji socks. They're toe socks. I absolutely love them. I have never gotten any blisters on my toes since I've started wearing these things, which is typically where I would get my blisters on some of my toes, in between my toes. So I love them, and I thought this is a great way to be able to give you guys an opportunity to be able to test them out, see what you think. They're going to be the mid-weight trail sock because it's a little bit heavier and they won't wear out as fast. I finally had my first pair wear out on me. It lasted, I think it was about 450 miles, which is not too bad. My darn tough socks on the AT were lasting about the same amount. So anyway, we're going to give away 3 pairs, 1 to each person. First person is Leslie Antonis. I hope I pronounce everyone's names right. I'm terrible at pronunciation sometimes. So Leslie, you're the first winner. The second winner is Follow Fit America. Congratulations, Follow Fit. And the last winner is Laura Moore. Congratulations to our 5 winners. So I will reach out to you and find out, again, what the best address is for all of you. And one thing, too, that I just wanted to add in, because I don't know that some of you, especially those of you that are new patrons, my plan for this channel is one day I want to be able to do this full time. And things are going really well with the channel. We're going to hit 20,000 subscribers, if you can believe that, probably sometime right around Trail Days. But the platforms of how, basically how you make money on YouTube, you got YouTube that you get money from your ad revenue. You got, of course, Patreon, which is this one here. And the other one is Amazon. And those of you that shop on Amazon for absolutely no cost, when instead of using your Amazon app, if you use my links, it can be any link. And in every video, I have a little link that says shop on Amazon. You just use that link and do your shopping. I get a percentage of basically a commission of whatever you buy. And this is how I'm able to afford doing gear giveaways every month, giving back these adventures, and I'm trying to put myself in a position where one day I could do this full time, which if I was able to do that, then we could do a lot more with this channel. So yeah, that's about it. It is about 10 minutes to 8. I am just going to stay on for any last questions that any of you have right now. Again, congratulations to all the winners. So if you have another question, you guys got me for, it's not even 8 o'clock yet, got 10 more minutes. So ask away if there's anything else on your mind. either about the OT, about what's coming up, about life in general. Um, and if there is any, while I wait for some questions, so me and Miss Bigfoot, I mentioned that we just bought a house. I am so excited. If you are not aware, we've been basically living at my parents' place since I got off the AT back at the end of 16. We had to move back to Minnesota. Like I had 10 days to move back and start my new job. So our focus was, let's just get back, put all our stuff in storage, and we'll look for a place next year. And then after a year kind of came through, we were like, well, we might buy my parents' place. And then that was kind of what we thought we were going to do, because my parents are looking at moving down to Florida. And then we just started going out and looking for houses to make sure that we wanted what we wanted. And we found something that was perfect for us. I'm going to live like 3/10 of a mile from my brother, which is awesome, and about probably about the same distance with about 4 other friends that are in the area. So we're really excited. I'm actually going to have a room just for my hiking gear and YouTube. So I'm going to have a studio room. It's going to be a lot easier making videos and doing things like that. I'm just so excited. It's going to be a blast. And the nice part too is we live right on a little wetland. There's a trail that goes right behind our house, and it runs along a wetland for about 2 miles. So Bella absolutely loved it, and yeah, it's just so great. We close on May 21st, so we're really excited about that. That's something that has kind of taken up a lot of my time lately, is just this whole house hunting, and then figuring out what we need, looking for furniture and all that stuff like that. But we're pretty excited. Excuse me. Hi, Nancy. How is the wedding planning going? So the wedding planning, we haven't found a venue yet, but we do have a date. The date's going to be October 26th, and most of you know me very well, and you can probably guess why it's October 26th. It's the Saturday before Halloween. It's going to be a very heavy fall-themed wedding. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're really excited about it. Tammy is just as on board about that as I am. So we still got to look for our venue, but we kind of held off a little bit now that we found a house and we're going through all this, and then we'll pick back up on it probably sometime in June. We don't know too much more than that. We're putting together the guest list right now, so we got a lot of planning still to do. But October 26th, 2019, so we have some time. Both of my brothers and my sister, so all my siblings, all 4 of us are getting married within about a 15 or 16 month period. I feel sorry for my parents. It's like crazy time for the Andersons. It took us, my parents 37, 38 years before their first kid's going to get married, and then it's like you probably hear sometimes, it's once one gets engaged, all of them get engaged. Once one gets married, all of them get married. So it's kind of funny how things happen. Michael BDU King, thank you for this. Congratulations to you, Miss Bigfoot. Finally, good morning from the night shift. Good morning to you too, sir. Good night to me pretty soon. Thanks, Michelle, about the new home. And let's see, we got Don asking, planning any pack rafting trips. I don't have any yet this year. I typically love to go up to the Boundary Waters at least once a year. So I'm going to just kind of see how the summer goes. We have a wedding in June, and then my big trip to Germany in June, and then my brother's wedding in July. And then in August, we got my brother's bachelor party for his wedding, which is in September. We're going to Mexico for a wedding at the end of August. Then I have my hike at the end of September. And we have another wedding in California in October for one of Tammy's good friends. So it's a really busy year. So I don't know that I'm going to be able to get there. But one thing that we are talking about, you might have heard me talking about getting into cross-country skiing. So I am going to buy a pair of backcountry skis, and I'm thinking about doing some backcountry, cross-country skiing in the Boundary Waters next year, or this winter. So we'll see how that goes, but that's kind of my plan. That might be the next time I actually get a chance to actually go up there. Bad Crispy, thanks for the hangout. The new house sounds sweet. Cheers, bud. Yes, cheers to all of you guys. So thanks everyone for making on here. I think we had about 20 people on, and I'm gonna, of course, keep this link published so that everyone that was not on gets the opportunity to be able to watch this. So if you are at Trail Days, make sure you let me know. You can comment in the post here or this video, and we'll figure out a way to be able to meet up out there. And yeah, it's gonna be a fun summer. It's gonna be a busy summer, but it's gonna be a fun summer. And I'm really looking forward to it. It's exciting times right now for me and the rest of my family with all the weddings that are going on. And you know what's probably going to happen soon after the weddings? Grandkids and everything. So it's going to be a really fun few years, but it's going to be a really busy few years, especially kicking it off this summer. So thanks everyone. I really appreciate everything that you guys do, all of your support, and I hope that we have an opportunity to see each other down the road, down the trail, whatever that may be. So good night, everyone. I will see you guys soon. And yeah, if you ever need anything, if you have questions about anything, please feel free to always email me, message me. Oh, it looks like we got someone that says I missed the beer. Yeah, I had a few beers the last couple nights, so I'm sticking just with water tonight. But the Q&A is coming back to the channel this Thursday, and I have my next beer that I'll be testing out. It's actually one of the Minnesota breweries, again, that someone suggested. So stay tuned for that and much more. I'll see you guys later. Thanks.